One peculiarity of Georgie and Mandy's relationship was the focus of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 4, revealing how inconsequential it had become after it was a major problem in young Sheldon. Spending all their evenings with the McAllisters made Mandy slightly disappointed in her lack of a social life, which brought her to go out with her co-worker Beth. Eventually involving Georgie hilariously brought back up the issue of their age gap, after Beth's son, Todd, had only been 1 year behind Georgie at Medford High. However, focusing on their age gap actually brought to another surprising discovery. Georgie and Mandy's relationship started in young Sheldon season 5 after both Georgie and Mandy hid the truth from one another. Indeed, Georgie willingly let Mandy think he was older by mincing his words, and Mandy had done something similar, only to come clean about lying about her age after they had already started dating. However, things got worse as Mandy was already pregnant with CC when Georgie decided to tell her the truth about his being underage, effectively putting a stop to their relationship for more than a season after the beginning of their dating was based on lies. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode foreshowed their age gap is now irrelevant. Beth's son being Georgie's age actually made Georgie and Mandy stronger. Emily Osment as Mandy McAllister and Montana Jordan as Georgie Cooper in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 4. Mandy bringing Georgie along to Beth's gave them the chance to spend time with someone that was closer in age to them and present themselves as a couple, which led to the charming retelling of how they met. However, Todd knowing Georgie from high school after Mandy met his mother through work made everything awkward, especially after the interaction showed Todd and Georgie's similar interests. The evening at Beth's followed the perfect recipe to let the age gap between Georgie and Mandy highlight how much of a problem it could be for them. But it actually obtained the opposite effect, if wanting to spend time with Todd and his friends kick-started Georgie and Mandy's fight in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage season 1, episode 4 because of Georgie's reaction to Mandy's opposition mirroring one he could have directed at his mother. Spending time with them was actually a hassle for Georgie. Despite being closer in age, Todd, Richie and Jason displayed a lack of wisdom Georgie couldn't comprehend, especially as it could have greatly endangered them. Georgie and Todd might have had similar interests, but they approached them from entirely different points of view, making Georgie's perspective closer to Mandy's. How Georgie and Mandy's age gap can actually help them in first marriage. Welcoming it doesn't let them take their shared life for granted. Audrey and Georgie reaching a truce in first marriage was visible in her attempts to underline Georgie's good qualities, but in between mocking her daughter for being married to a teenager, Audrey made the reasonable point Mandy should have expected her and Georgie's approaches might have differed because of the age gap. However, that was never Georgie and Mandy's problem in young Sheldon. During Mandy's pregnancy with CC, she and Georgie often butted heads, but it was because of the lies that brought them there, not their age gap underlying how unsuited they were for each other. Georgie and Mandy's age gap never really impacted their problems, with Mandy being lied to having a bigger weight in her refusal to marry Georgie in young Sheldon. Georgie's behavior throughout Mandy's pregnancy rode against Mandy's opinion of him, as Georgie supported her and was wiser than she expected, effectively making their age gap irrelevant, as how they behaved didn't match their age for the better. This was evident also in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, where Georgie and Mandy relied on their bond and cherished their shared life, making their values and expectations align without their age factoring in.